call the roll?
Mr. Ansello.
Here.
Mr. Monroe.
Here.
Dr. Carbone.
Here.
Mr. Delahanty.
Here.
Chairwoman Draw.
Here.
Mr. Felder.
Here.
Mr. Hebert.
Here.
Mr. Marionetti.
Here.
Mr. Morelli.
Here.
Mr. Moyo.
Here.
Mr. Rockow.
Will Legislator Rocco please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any speakers signed up for public forum tonight?
There is not.
Seeing no one in there that would like to address the committee, at this time, we'll move on to the approval of minutes. The next item is, you have the minutes from the August 23rd meeting in your folder. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Madam Clerk.
Referral number 16-0266.
Moved by Legislator Hebert and seconded by Legislator Carbone. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0267. Acceptance of a grant.
Moved by Legislator Carbone and seconded by Legislator Delahanty. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0269.
Moved by Legislator Delahanty and seconded by Legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0270.
Moved by Legislator Rocco and seconded by Legislator Ansello. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0271.
Moved by Legislator Ansello and seconded by Legislator Marionetti. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0273.
Moved by Legislator Marionetti and seconded by Legislator Hebert. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next items, please.
Referral number 16-0274.
Moved by Legislator Hebert and seconded by Legislator Carbone. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Barra, finally.
Thank you. I was going to say, I think that's a record.
I know, it was a record for you.
So,
You have the floor.
So on the seventh matter to come before the committee, I'll point out, I did not ask any questions on 6 of them. So for this one, through the chair of the administration, I do have a couple questions regarding this. I'm going to start with the mundane first, and that is, I assume the signal loops have a particular lifespan. What is that lifespan on these signal loops?
Through the chair, repeat the question. Signal loops, you're saying?
Yes, we're replacing pavement markings and signal loops at each location.
Oh, through the chair, that about the project. The loops actually will last unless water gets in there. But when the project that we're doing, we're going in and milling off the road, and that's what will cut the loop. It's called the home run
I see.
back, and it'll cut it, so then we have to replace it.
Makes sense. Thank you. And through the chair of the administration, on a more substantial question then, I note that this redesign or extension of the design phase, however it might be phrased, is a result of certain things, particularly ADA compliance things that were not originally anticipated. How did that occur?
Through the chair, the state notified us late this spring that there was some new requirements that we needed to do when we're doing whether it's federal money or even when we're using state money, that we have to go through when we're doing a mill and resurfacing job or even a sealing job, that we have to go out and verify existing sidewalk ramps that are the ADA ramps now. We have to go out and make sure, verify that they meet current standards. They might have been put in under different standards at one time. Well, now there's current, newer standards, and you have to make sure that they meet those standards now. And if they don't, and we we can accommodate and put them in correctly to meet current standards, then we'll have to design and construct them accordingly. But if, for this type of job, if it's in a, since it's a resurfacing job, if we need to get right away to do it, we would not have to do it at this time. But at some point, you might have to meet these new standards.
Okay, so through the chair of the administration, and in which case, so we have to confirm that in fact we're meeting the standards, and it's going to cost an additional $50,000 for the design phase. Does that mean the county's paying $50,000 or we're paying $2,500 as a result of the 95% match from the state? So how much is actually out of pocket to us now?
Through the chair, we are going to get 95%, 80% from the feds reimbursed and 15% from the federal, or from the state.
Okay, so our cost at the end of the day is going to be $2,500.
Through the chair,
chair.
that's correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0275.
Moved by legislator Carbone and seconded by legislator Delahanty. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Barath.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, just to confirm, this is the same exact situation as referral 274?
Through the chair, that's correct.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0276.
Moved by legislator Delahanty and seconded by legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Hebert, saw you first.
Through the chair to the administration, is there any expectation of having to use eminent domain for any of this, any of these, or for that matter, the next two referrals as well, if there's all the same answer?
Through the chair, there is a possibility with the Coldwater Bridge project and the Elmwood Avenue project.
Would you be able, through the chair, would you be able to provide us with specific ones as they happen, or your expectations are? After the meeting is fine.
There's one property owner on each project that could potentially not agree to the offer that we've made.
Thank you. Fine? Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Barath?
Thank you. Swipe my question. I have a follow-up question actually regarding the question of eminent domain, but on this referral only, because I'm going to ask the same question down the line because there's some follow-up questions. The administration mentioned that there's a property owner who might not accept our offer. Is that for the Coldwater Road project, through the chair?
Through the chair, that's correct.
Thank you. And through the chair of the administration, do you know if that property owner owes any property taxes to the county, or taxes of any nature?
Through the chair, to my knowledge, they do not.
Thank you. And then through the chair of the administration, if it ends up that we utilize the eminent domain procedure for that particular in regard to that particular property owner, I would indeed want us to be made aware of that fact. And not after, I need to know that too, I think. So I'd make that request. Can that be done through the chair?
Through the chair, certainly.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0277.
Moved by legislator Rocco and seconded by legislator Ansello. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Barath.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, on a similar vein, am I correct to assume from the prior conversation that we do not anticipate having to use eminent domain for this project?
Through the chair, there is a possibility with one property owner.
Thank you. And then through, again, through the chair of the administration, and this one is particularly near and dear to my heart, I would very much want to know about that if that does in fact occur. Is that possible?
Through the chair, certainly.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0278.
Moved by legislator Ansello and seconded by legislator Marionetti. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Barath.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, same question regarding the eminent domain. do we anticipate any property owners might not accept our offers on this particular project?
Through the chair, no, we do not.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0279.
Moved by legislator Marionetti and seconded by legislator Hebert. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Baroth.
Thank you. Happily, I sat in on the Human Services Committee meeting just prior, and I will say I followed along nicely. It was great. I do have a follow-up question. It was mentioned that the maximum number of cases we can handle based on FTE is going to be 289. However, in 2015, due to clients arriving, clients leaving, we actually served 373 persons in 2015. I realize we can't have the numbers for 2016 yet, but do we have the numbers for 2014 and 2013? And the reason I asked through the chair is to look at trends to see if this is something that we are, I don't want to say regularly going over our max capacity, but is it something that we want to look at in the future? Through the chair.
Through the chair, I absolutely have that data, but not with me. I will get it for you.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0280.
Moved by legislator Hebert and seconded by legislator Carbone. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Baroth.
Thank you. I'll point out to the committee that I did not ask any questions for the first 6 referrals.
I know, I was very surprised.
Well, I do.
I know, that's fine. That's what we're here for.
On this particular referral, I have a question regarding the additional funding. According to the referral, we're receiving from the state approximately $382,000, of which approximately $108,000 is going to the contract with the Visiting Nurse Service at Rochester. My question is, the remaining $273,000, where is that going and what is going to be used for? Through the chair.
Through the chair, that will go to a multitude of places. It funds the program coordinator, which is a county position. There are 2 clerical type staff that are also county positions. It will also reimburse funding for VNS that we were not able to get in the original Albany grant that didn't happen.
Through the chair of the administration, when you talk about reimbursement or VNS funding that you weren't originally able to get, from what time frame are we talking about for reimbursement? Through the chair.
Through the chair, the 2015 one-time only funds that did not come through that we believed would come through, and then the waiver didn't happen, we had earmarked much of that money for funding the VNS nurses.
Thank you. And through the chair of the administration, of the $273,000, how much of that is that reimbursement of missing funds we expected but did not receive?
Through the chair, I will get you that number.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0281.
Moved by legislator Delahanty and seconded by legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Next items, please.
Referral number 16-0282.
Moved by legislator Rocco and seconded by legislator Ansello. Is there any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0283.
Moved by legislator Ansello and seconded by legislator Marionetti. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0284.
Moved by legislator Marionetti and seconded by legislator Hebert. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Baroth.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, the referral refers to a number of providing enhanced education information to local providers. Who are the local providers this is referring to? Through the chair.
Through the chair, any local community clinician, nurse practitioner, PA, physician who orders a positive test, we follow through to make certain that they follow the according CDC guidelines, as well as provide education to them when they do not.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, then I would imagine that means you must be getting, and perhaps I'm wrong, getting a number of positive referrals from, say, for example, the Rochester General. Would that be correct through the chair?
Through the chair, we get positive referrals from everywhere.
Right. What I'm getting at then is, through the chair of the administration, do you have a breakdown of who needs to have this information sent to them on a regular basis? I would imagine the larger institutions would have a larger percentage of the outreach. Is that correct? And if so, through the chair, I'd like to have a breakdown of of the larger, I don't know, call it positive. I don't know how to refer it. The providers who need this service.
Through the chair, I can certainly provide you with the morbidity throughout the community based on what providers have the highest rates of positive test results, and I will look into confidentiality regarding the provider's treatment for you.
Thank you. I of course, would not want to have us impact any confidentiality restrictions. My concern is if there's providers who receive bulk numbers of these, that we might find ways of economizing on the referral, providing of information to them. I can't imagine that this isn't already being done. I mean, if you're having, hundreds of cases, I'm making that up, but hundreds of cases going to RGH, for example, there's got to be, a procedure in place that it doesn't cost us anything or very little to actually implement. But maybe I'm wrong, and that's why I'm asking this question through the chair.
Through the chair, I'm not sure what the question,
I was simply trying to explain why I wanted the information.
That is,
thank you.
thank you.
Thanks.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0285.
Moved by legislator Hebert and seconded by legislator Carbone. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Baroth?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Through the chair,
Mm-hmm.
we're on 285, right?
We are.
I do not have a question. My apologies.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0286.
Moved by legislator Carbone and seconded by legislator Delahanty. And now legislator Baroth. Mm-hmm.
Through the chair of the administration, I do have a few questions on this. I was at the prior committee meeting where this was discussed, and just for our committee's clarification, some of the fundings goes for things along the lines of travel, cell phone usage, administrative costs, and such. My question is, at one point in the discussion, it was mentioned that this is a revenue-generating position. I'm unclear what that means. Through the chair of the administration, could you clarify, if you recall the conversation, what you meant by saying this was revenue-generating?
Through the chair, what I believe my understanding is this is not a profit-generating position, but it's not a mandated role for us. We are provided reimbursement for the state for the services we provide on their behalf.
Thank you. So through the chair of the administration, no one else is providing us any sort of funding in any way. Is that correct, through the chair?
Through the chair, that is absolutely correct.
That's what I wanted to know. And then the other question I had on this through the chair, I do know that it's for 4 years, it's $400,000, and the primary bulk of this is to pay for a public health nurse. Through the chair of the administration, how much of this funding per year goes to pay the salary and benefits or whatever of the public health nurse position?
Through the chair, 100% of the public health nurse and her salary, benefits, and all costs are paid for by the position. I'm sorry, is that your question?
No, it's close. That is probably going to be less than $100,000 a year. My question is, how much is that per year? How much is being spent on the other things, such as administrative costs, cell phones, and travel?
Through the chair, I will get you that breakdown.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0287.
Moved by legislator Delahanty and seconded by legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0288.
Moved by legislator Rocco and seconded by legislator Ansello. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0289.
Moved by legislator Hebert and seconded by legislator Carbone. And at this time, legislator Hebert? Thank you. Do you have a motion that you? And seconded by legislator Morelli. So we will move into executive session if we want to, 5 minutes here to have people.
Do we need a vote?
Oh, I'm sorry, we do, I'm sorry. We didn't, thank you, Pat. Can we just vote? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. We are going into executive session. 5 minutes till everyone leaves. Okay. So we're back in, any discussion on referral 289? Seeing none, can we, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral number 16-0290.
Moved by Legislator Carbone and seconded by Legislator Delahanty. Is there any discussion on this? Legislator Morelli.
Through you to the administration, this is just the funding of the Office of Public Integrity through the end of the current budget year, being 2016. Is that correct?
Madam Chairwoman, that is correct.
Okay. Thank you. And through you to the administration, can we have a breakdown of what those salaries will be on an annual basis?
Yes, Madam Chairwoman. The salaries are reported in the annual budget book, and we can print out the salary schedule for each of these designated pay groups.
I think I can get that on my own. Thank you. In terms of supplies and material, is that where the office rent will come out of? And if so, where is the office going to be?
No, Madam Chairwoman. That is primarily to outfit the office with requisite office furniture and supplies. Rent actually comes out of the line for contractual services. And Madam Chairwoman, a lease is not finalized yet. It is currently being negotiated, but appropriate space has been identified in the Times Square building.
Thank you. Finally, I noticed that in the referral in front of us, this is under the Department of Finance / Office of Public Integrity. Moving forward through you, Madam Chair, will this become its own department and have its own line item, and then the office request whatever it is that they need moving forward into the 2017 budget?
Madam Chairwoman, this actually is, the Office of Public Integrity is its own department as amended in the charter. It probably looks like finance only because of the budget transfer form. The contingency fund, generally speaking, is accounted for in what we call finance unallocated. So for 2016 and 2017 and years going forward, you will see clearly in the budget book that OPI is its own department.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Legislator Hebert, did you have a question?
Yeah, I have a couple. Through the chair, what's the timeline to fill positions in this office? Do we know?
Madam Chairwoman, the timeline for filling positions has already kicked off with the appointment of Chief Moore as the director. Job descriptions have been provided to Human Resources and are going to the Civil Service Commission. I believe that is scheduled for the first Thursday in October. At that time, internal and external postings will be made available for these positions. So the time frame for recruitment is from now until the end of this year.
Any other discussion, George?
Give me just 1 second, please.
Sure.
Trying to make sure I don't ask the same question twice. Through the chair, if there are unused funds, where will they go?
Madam Chairwoman, is the question if OPI does not utilize all $100,000 this year, where will the funds go? Is that the question?
Yes, sir. Through the chair.
Yes.
Madam Chairwoman, the budget appropriation for this will lapse at December 31st, so unused funds will not roll over into 2017.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Legislator Barath.
through the chair of the administration, what is the FTE count for this office? I just want to determine if they're all full-time or there are any part-time positions in here.
Madam Chairwoman, it's these are full-time positions except for the investigators, and we are looking at two either part-time or per diem investigators for the office.
So through the chair of the administration, there'll be 3 FTE and 2 part-time positions?
Yeah, sorry, Madam Chair, 3 full-time FTEs, 2 part-time positions.
Thank you. And then through the chair of the administration, assuming, I realize the budget it morphs and changes as things develop, but is it reasonable to anticipate, as things stand now, that the annual budget for this office will be about $533,000 a year through the chair? I extrapolated that from the funding amount here.
Madam Chair, that is reasonable, although at this point in time, 2017 is looking to be a little less than that.
Okay. But through the chair of the administration, on par with how other departments might be facing their budget issues through the chair.
Yes, Madam Chairwoman.
And then finally, through the chair of the administration, these 3 FTE, there are 3 new FTE, or they're being transferred from other departments through the chair?
Madam Chair, all of these positions are being created in this referral.
I'm sorry, through the chair, I don't understand what that means.
Madam Chair, we are not requesting through Civil Service Commission or this legislature the transfer of a position from one department to another. These are newly created positions for this new office.
Thank you. And just to clarify, that makes sense, but through the chair of the administration, these 5 positions, 3 full-time, 2 part-time, only one of which is filled right now. The others may or may not be filled before December. Probably, I would imagine, at least some of them won't be. Will, in the coming year, when they are actually filled, would there be any request for transfers active the next fiscal year through the chair?
Madam Chair, that really would be speculation on my part to see if another individual would like to apply for these positions.
I'm sorry, through the chair. What I mean is that some of these positions may not actually be filled by the end of the year, in which case my question is what you said for this year holds true for next year as well, in terms of not requesting any FTE be moved from any other department to fill these positions, or to create this position? Am I being clear or unclear?
Madam Chair, I think the question is clear. At this time, I'm not really inclined to make commentary on the yet-to-be-proposed 2017 budget when it comes to authorized positions.
I would agree. Legislator Baroth, I think we're just sticking to what's in the rest of here, to 2016 in this referral right here as our budget, is the
Then my
established
final
budget.
question then, related, but
Okay.
with the 2016 budget,
Okay.
is it the intent of the administration to aggressively fill these positions before the end of the year?
Madam Chair, it is the intent of this administration to post and advertise for the filling of these positions as expediently as possible. And yes, that means by the end of this year.
Thank you. And then finally, through the chair of the administration, given that we know who the director of this office is going to be, is that position also the soon-to-be vacated, or already vacated position that Chief Moore held? Is that going to be filled, or is that going to be an open position?
Legislator Baroth, yeah, Legislator Baroth, it's not germane to this referral right here on
Well, if it
NPI.
remains open, then actually those are additional funds that are not going to be spent in this coming year, this current year. Because if you don't have a person in the position, the fund's not spent.
I'm not following what you...
It would mean that approximately, and bear with me on the number, $10,000 or so would be available for other use moving forward. And this is the only time we can really ask that question, because that we happen to know who that person is. It's a simple question. I just want to know if that position was being filled or not. The old position, yeah.
Madam Chair, can...
I'm not sure.
Madam Chairman, I think what my colleague is asking is whether the money that has already been allocated for Chief Moore's
Current
his
position.
director position is now available for use in his new position. So I think that does bear an answer from the administration. I don't understand why they couldn't answer that question.
Mr. Franklin?
Madam Chair, although I personally have not been a party to those conversations, I would speculate, although I hate to speculate, that the position will be filled after Chief Moore becomes the official director of this office.
I think that answers. Any other discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Is there any other matters to come before this committee? Seeing none, the September 27th, 2016 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee stands adjourned till the next meeting will be held on Tuesday, October 25th at 6 p.m. Thank you. Have a nice evening.